What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Making Podcasts Great Again. I am your tech stuff guy, Djing, and we are here, of course, with the president of Mar-a-Lago of the United States, of Mar-a-Lago of America, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Mr. President, how are you today?
We'll edit that out.
Yeah. How are you
Okay,
today?
I'm very strong, not burping at all. We're doing, we had a very strong weekend. There was a lot of partying, a lot of celebration, even though we're in a really sad, very sad time for our country. So sad. But I had actually a lot of fun this weekend. We had a strong weekend, and that's why I did a very powerful, patriotic burp. They call them burps.
It's a patriotic burp. What makes an unpatriotic burp?
Black burping, a radical left burp. If you're burping because you had too much, organic seaweed kale, that's not a patriot. That's a far from it. For internet, if you're burping on vegetables from international waters, that's about as woke a burp as you get.
I wanted to ask you, do you ever drive a car, or you get driven around all the time?
I know I don't drive a car. Excuse me. And I was just saying excuse me because of the clearing my throat, not because I need to be excused by you.
I understand.
No, I don't drive a car because that's what poor people do. And I don't know if you've heard, I'm not poor.
Do you hear your drivers ever complain about the gas prices?
I had a driver recently say to me, "Sir, gas has gotten so," because I make my drivers pay for the gas. And they
That's
said,
nice of
"Sir,
you.
you give them, it's called personal responsibility." And they said to me, "Sir, the gas has gotten too expensive." And there was a person nearby who heard the driver say that. And I said, "You're making me seem poor." And I fired him on the spot. And he said, "Sir, I apologize." And I said, "You're fired. And if you talk to me again, we're going to Second Amendment your ass."
But I guess it would sound poor if you were the one paying for the gas, but he's paying for the gas. So the gas has nothing to
Tech
do with you.
stuff. Excuse me.
Yes.
Excuse me. Do you have any employees?
No.
Oh, interesting. Well, I have many. And when your employees complain, it reflects badly on you as a strong, great employer. So if somebody overhears, "Oh, sir, I'm complaining about low gas prices," the stranger who heard this looked over, and I could see a look on their face like, "Why would Sir President Donald Shaman, Reverend Dr. Esquire Trump, Sir PhD, have an employee who's complaining about anything financial?" And when I saw that, that's when I said I have to take strong action. So
I understand.
it reflects on me. Of course I'm not poor, but I can't have anybody even asking stupid questions that make me look poor.
It's like guilty by association. I understand.
It's more like guilty by Truth Social.
How is Truth Social doing?
I mean, you should see it. We have the longest waiting list in the history of social media. It's like a velvet rope where only the most exclusive people can get in. So Truth Social is I mean, I'm blown away by the strong success we're having with Truth Social.
It's just what's the average wait time once you submit your profile to get approved? What's the average wait time for a person like me?
Oh, how do you 3 lifetimes?
Okay, how about someone more distinguished than me, but not as distinguished as you?
So you mean the entire world?
Oh, well, that's a low blow there, Mr. President.
I would say, it's sort of VIPs get in, 1 week later after we've approved them with strong truth and social. And because you have to promise to tell the truth and give us your social security number to be on Truth Social.
That's
And
risky.
well, no, because we're very truthful. So you can trust us because we have truth. So to be on Truth Social, you give trustworthy people your social security number, and then we say, welcome to Truth Social. And it's called verification. So we have a lot of people who are waiting. Strong people get in after about a week. But after those 15 people get in, the other 1.7 million right now, they have to wait like 3 months because we use a special process called bugs. Okay.
Okay.
And people will get a message on the app saying, we're fixing the bugs in the app. And that just means that that's the waiting process. And so we run their social security number and to prove loyalty, we open credit cards in their name and sort of, just, run some, how a credit, if you open an account, sometimes with direct deposit, it'll say, oh, a 3 cent charge is coming through to just verify.
Right.
So we do like $10,000 charges just to make sure they sort of can take that sort of financial, because we don't want poor people on True Social.
Never.
So, once we've accumulated, as we let people in, you do a $10,000 charge, non-refundable, of course, if they read the fine print. And after we get through like 700,000, a million people, I'll be the richest person in the world. So I think what I'm saying is Truth Social is doing very well.
What can someone do to move up the line in Truth Social? Like if you are maybe 3,000th in line, is there anything that someone can do to move up to, be let in and get access within the week or two?
Sure. Well, of course, I mean, not for you, but, somebody who's like 3,000. We have a VIP express lane, which is you answer a series of questions. Are you a hot woman? Click yes or no. If you
Mhm.
click no, we say, do you have a hot wife or a hot daughter? Yes or no. And if as soon as you start answering yes, you're just asked to offer various nude pictures and other agreements. And then you can move very quickly up the line.
Hmm.
Truth
Okay.
Social Plus. We call it Truth Social Plus.
Now, Mr. President, I wanted to wish you a today. We've been talking about all these national days, these made up holidays, and today is National Single Parent Day.
Yes, congratulations to the Blacks, the Latinos, and to the greatest single parent in the world, in my opinion, Maleficent Trump, my beautiful third wife.
You consider her a single parent?
Excuse me. Why would you say something like that?
Why, I just said National Single Parent Day and then
And you
used.
question her parent, and excuse me. And she is, I would argue, the most famous and most high profile and hottest single parent we have in the country and probably the world. And you're telling me I can't include her in this holiday? Okay, oh, is it a radical left holiday? Would she just have to be, a poor black to be celebrating? Is it a racist holiday? Excuse me, are you saying it's a racist? You sound racist. Is it a racist holiday?
I just don't
Yes
think
or
she's.
no? Excuse
No,
me.
it's
Yes.
not.
Well, then you should start talking like less of a racist then when you talk about melanoma's number one holiday after uh yeah, I mean obviously anal sex, National Anal Sex Day is obvious. I mean, is her number one, but this is a very classy sort of family related holiday. So show some respect or else you will be fired so fast.
I just was insinuating that she's married to you, so therefore she's not a single parent. That's all I was saying.
Well, I would have to parent. In other words,
Mm-hmm.
I don't do parenting. So I consider her a role model, a top flight prostitute, and a strong single mother.
Okay. Well, I
Now
want
I'm
to,
actually,
yes.
this is what's funny. My holiday is, of course, in August, Motherfuckers Day.
I didn't know that was a holiday.
It is. Well, according to what I tell Madagascar, it is.
Well, I wanted to wish your son Barron Trump a happy birthday. He turned 16. I don't know. I think Florida you can start driving at 16 years old. So I wanted
Oh,
to wish Barron, your son, Barron
oh no, no,
Trump.
no. Okay, you've. That's why we call you tech stuff and not Intel guy, because you always have the wrong information.
Okay.
Now he is my wife, who I acknowledge on this beautiful day of uh, Lonely
National
Parent
Single
Day.
Parent Day. Lonely Parent.
It's it's her son. It's her son, and she walks in and she says, "Have you wished happy Donald? Have you wished happy birthday to my son Brendan?" And I said, "Who the hell is that?" I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who that is. And she brings him in, and this 7 foot blonde weirdo walks in, and she says, "It is his birthday." And I go, "Well, if you know what they say, happy wife."
Happy life.
No, they say unhappy life because you shouldn't have a wife. Do you not know the saying?
I don't know that saying.
Okay, well, that's the saying. And so I thought, we'll throw a party for this Billy Trump. It's so funny. I can't believe she had a kid with somebody named Trump. That this kid has the name Trump. It's like, what are the odds? And so I said, being nice and being that it was desperate parent day, I said, okay, I'll throw a nice party for your son Bartholomew. And she said, thank you so much, Donald. So we had a party, but no, not you said my son. No, this was Marshmallow's son.
So there's no relation to you.
No, I mean he's a tall drink of water, and he walks around all the time with mashed potatoes. So I said, okay, mashed potatoes, we'll have a party for your tall son.
And what was this party like?
Well, it was 16, as you may know, is a very important age. If he was, obviously, if he was a girl, if Barton was Belinda, how about that? That sounds hot. A tall blonde named Belinda. Well, then the party would obviously be a very different theme. Maybe
Sure.
I would say, Belinda, we're not actually blood related. And in Florida, age of consent, according to my late great friend Jeff Epstein, is 11. So you are more than enough woman for this still president. But he's a young man, and so it's at 16. As you know, I think you're a Kushner. 16 is when you have what's it called? A bar mitzvah.
Bar mitzvah.
Well, you pronounce it however you want to pronounce it, but you have a Bolivia, the Jewish tradition, you have a Bolivia, and yeah, it's a big party, and you have rappers. If you're rich enough, you have rappers sing, and it's a great time. So, but he's not Jewish. He's Transylvanian, like his mother, Myanmar, and so we had, we did a mix because 16 is a sort of, you're kind of a kid, but you're becoming a man. I think you'd agree, sort of like a. So we had John Rocker, because kids like athletes. So remember John Rocker,
John Rocker was a guest.
strong, great pitcher. So he showed up and he threw some baseballs and screamed some N words, so that was fun, like a little celebrity appearance.
Okay.
And Ted Nugent had sex. Ted Nugent and James Woods also showed up, and they had sex with some of Barton's female friends from his sophomore class,
Okay.
which was obviously a treat for those young ladies. And and for the main, we had cake. You gotta have cake.
Of
So,
course.
and what's great is that, once I saw Melanoma taking her sort of afternoon pills, she was a little drowsy, and I said, "Okay, darling, get in the cake. You got to get in the birthday cake to surprise your son."
Like Under
Brett.
Siege.
Well, it was a great scene. So she got into Brett's cake, and we wheeled it out.
You're getting very emotional about your wife's son.
It's nice to make, it's nice to make my wife, her name. It's fun to make her happy
Melatonin.
sometimes. Who?
Melatonin.
No, Metamucil.
Sorry.
Okay. Her name's Metamucil. And all of a sudden we started playing Happy Birthday. And Brendan was just sitting there ready to blow out the candles. And all of a sudden his naked mother
She just popped out of the cake.
it's such
Very emotional.
It's such a touching moment. And she's European, so they don't do underwear or pasties. She broke out full nude, 2 feet from her son, as we were all singing Happy Birthday. And she unfortunately was a little drowsy and also excited because all the guests were there. And unfortunately she sort of fell out of the cake and ended up in kind of a 69 position with her son, Brett. And they were, very, and all of a sudden she said, "Oh, what's that?" And everybody was very confused. And but we all settled it. We wiped the front, some of Barton's friends, some of the male friends just started wiping the frosting off of the first lady. So they were very courteous there. There were like 6 of them, just some of them were licking the frosting off of her. So they're very, he's got very nice friends, it's called considerate. And so we were very
I have a few.
happy
I'm
about
sorry.
that. And then afterwards, at some parties they do your swag. You ever had this swag bag? Instead of a swag bag, because I thought it would be better, we let each of Barton's male friends fuck Roger Stone's wife as they exited.
Mr. President, I had a few questions. That's a great swag bag, or really not a swag bag, almost a
ball bag. You get to give your ball bag to Roger Stone's love dumpster.
Now, did you DJ any of the party? That's what I wanted to know first.
I was more concerned about getting melanoma into the cake. So that was mostly my responsibility. And then obviously just getting Roger Stone's wife there. We sent her obviously a VIP car service. And she's been dealing with hundreds of real men. So okay, so 20 16-year-olds, you don't think she can handle that? She can handle that in her sleep, which I think she was asleep for the last 12. But the point is, I did a few DJing points. I of course played YMCA. And we also played She's Only 17 by Winger, great Winger. And but no rap.
Okay. Now, 16 is a big birthday. What did you buy Baron for his birthday?
I just said we threw him one of the great. You think most 16-year-olds get to have Mar-a-Lago birthday parties? I'm sorry that's not enough for you, tech stuff.
I don't know. You're a very wealthy man. I thought maybe you would throw him a party and buy him a gift as well.
A party at Mar-a-Lago. You think a 16-year-old is worthy of a $300,000 party?
I didn't know it was that expensive.
Oh, we raised the rates. For Barton.
Well, I guess the party is good enough for a six-figure party. I think any boy would be happy with at 16 years old. So you DJ'd, no present. The present was the party. Did he get any good gifts from any of his wealthy friends that you saw?
What did he get?
Besides
No.
Roger Stone's wife.
Yeah, well, it's once you've had Roger Stone's wife as a gift, it's sort of hard to. Well, he didn't have Roger Stone's wife.
Oh, he didn't.
No, it was no. That was you don't give the swag bag you give it to the guests.
Right.
So, but he got what I thought was very nice that our pastry chef did. I sort of didn't like it because he did it for my birthday, and I thought it's kind of a copycat move.
Right.
But he gave everybody cupcakes, 2 cupcakes that were exact replicas of Ivanka's breasts. So everybody had 2 of those cupcakes at their table. So, Barton liked those.
That's good. This present sounds like a great party, and I just want to wish Baron a happy birthday, happy 16th birthday.
Oh,
now, Brendan.
Who's that?
Barton. Bartholomew.
Are you just saying the letter B? I don't know who these people are.
Just saying every name that you called in this episode.
Oh, Benjamin. You mean Melatonin's son, Benjamin? Yeah, Benjamin. Okay, well, Benjamin Button.
I wanted to talk to you. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas hospitalized with flu symptoms. It's got to be bad if you have the flu and you're in the hospital. Have you spoken to him? Have you heard anything? Any intel?
No, last night we had a strong prayer vigil for Clarence. It was, they call him the most tenured judge. You know what that means? That means he's been there
The
the
longest.
longest time. And nobody ever talks about that, the history as an African-American on the court. He's done such a great job just hating blacks. He's done such a great job. That guy, I honestly think, and I'm proud of him, I honestly think he hates the blacks more than me. Because I at least have Jim Crow records, with Kanye and Ice Cube and great artists. But that guy, and I think what happened was, and I think we're going to have Raging Brett said he was going to stop by.
Yes, I wanted to hear his thoughts as well.
Well, he'll be here soon. I think, he said before he drove over, he had to polish off a case. And I think when Clarence Thomas, and we'll get to this also, there's a new radical left black lady lawyer. Okay. I thought it was bad enough when HBO had a black lady sketch show. And I said, okay, I hope that's the end of it for black ladies. I hope they don't try to go further than sketch. And all of a sudden, Sleepy Joe wakes up and says, come on, Jack. I'm not even kidding here, man. We're going to put a black lady on the Supreme Court. And I thought, this is insane. The man has gone full insane.
Are you talking about Ketanji Brown Jackson?
Sure. Whoever it is, I think whatever part of Wakanda she's from, I'd like her to go back, because I think it gave Clarence Thomas, it gave him a new strain of flu. I think that's what happened. We were all concerned about COVID. I think he got Ketanji, and he found out they were going to put a qualified black on the Supreme Court, and that she was going to be a woman. And I think it devastated him. He said, he said this to me, he said, sir, since when do we put qualified blacks on the Supreme Court? And I said, I don't know, Clarence. That's a great question. And that's why you're so smart on the court, because you ask the important questions. And I think he caught Ketanji, and it's a real shame. And it's a real sad, it's a very sad thing that happened to him, but he's recovering, which is the great news. And Brett just you want to talk to Brett?
I love to hear his thoughts on this.
This guy just stumbled, and thank God he was, he was at the last Roger Stone party, and I got to tell you, thank God he had whiskey dick, because he actually said to me he was going to try and kill Roger Stone's wife with his dick, and fortunately, he just couldn't get that jurisdiction up. He just couldn't get it. Yeah, it was a lot of Kavanaugh and a lot of beer, and thankfully the blood flow was weak, because I think we would have to have a special bonus memorial episode for Roger Stone's wife. But he's here. He's here. Okay. I'm going to take a break. Brett, Raging
All
Brett,
right.
yeah, weepy son of a bitch, get on the mic.
Raging Brett, how are you?
What's I'm great. I'm great. Tech stuff. How are you?
I'm good. How much have you drank tonight?
Normally I would just have a 6-pack to unwind, but when I found out my great colleague Clarence, I hate Blacks Thomas, that's his nickname.
That's his nickname in the chambers.
When I found out that he was in the hospital, I drank another 6 beers and then got in my car and went right to that hospital bed. And I was so happy to see him and and I'm going to be delicate here, but his wife, who I wouldn't sexually assault for all the beer in the world. Not that I do that. When I saw him and he was up in his seat and he was screaming so angrily about the fact that they were putting a qualified Black woman on the Supreme Court, I said, that's my Clarence. He's back. So fortunately, these are tears of joy tonight, and 18 beers worth of tears, but like it's I thought it was touch and go, and I thought he was a goner, but he's going to make it. He's going to live, and he's going to come back to the court and rule against Black people for hopefully many years.
Now, Ketanji Brown Jackson will be the next Supreme Court justice. How do you feel about working with her? Have you met her yet? Have you spoken to her?
I know her from the DC circuit, and we weren't on the DC circuit together, but she's from what I hear, she's I went to Yale.
Yes.
And she went to Harvard, so we're already sort of rivals. So I have to admit, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, before I pushed her down the stairs, I mean before she passed away peacefully, I actually had struck up a surprisingly positive friendship with her. And so I'm trying to strike the same tone with Judge what's her name? She's a Brown Jackson.
It is Brown Jackson, Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Well, I've tried to strike up the same, so pay it forward. So I walked up to her and I said, "Good luck," and gave her a wink and said, "I won't rape you if we're benchmates." It's called locker room humor tech stuff, and that's my way of welcoming her to the club. And trust me, she's going to get a lot worse from Clarence Thomas when he gets back.
Do you think he'll be back?
He's going to be back, and we've already said we if she's down to clown, we'll do a devil's triangle with her, but only if she consents, because we're gentlemen.
Now, if something happened where Clarence Thomas couldn't serve anymore, then President Biden would be putting another Supreme Court justice in place. Are you nervous for his next choice? Because most likely, I feel like the Supreme Court justice is not going to have a lot of the views that you have.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's Sleepy Joe, and he's probably gonna pick some sleepy left-wing nut. I just, I think Clarence Thomas, much like Michael Jordan was for basketball, Clarence Thomas is for self-hate. And I think that self-hate is just what drives him to get up every day and be worse than he was the day before. So I really think Clarence Thomas is going to be here. I think he's going to be on the court for at least 10 more years.
Now, we talked about this earlier in the episode. It's Barron Trump's birthday. He turned 16. You know who Barron is?
That's Mr. President Trump Sir's wife's son, right?
Yes. Did you buy him a birthday present?
No.
Did you plan on it? I know Mr. President has helped you out a lot. Least you can do is buy
Well,
his wife's son.
I said I was gonna get him a gift card, and Mr. President Sir specifically said to me, "Don't you dare buy that fucking loser a gift." So I said, "Sir, I've never even heard of him." And we winked and laughed, and then, stared at Ivanka for a few minutes.
Well, Raging Brett, I hope we have you on another future bonus episode. You are a treasure to this podcast, and I know the fans really appreciate you. And thank you for joining us for this, last minute call tonight. So have a great rest of your evening.
None of us are getting sleep knowing that there's going to be a qualified black woman on the Supreme Court. This is our worst fucking nightmare.
Well, hopefully you can drink yourself to sleep tonight, and I don't know, learn how to deal with it.
I hope my wife passes out soon.
Okay, well, good luck with that.
In the confines of a strong Christian marriage, that's totally acceptable tech stuff.
To each his own. It's totally fine. I just really don't want to hear about it. But Raging Brett,
you heard it.
I did hear it, and I can't unhear it. But I appreciate you joining us tonight. And if you can get the president to finish up this podcast.
Excuse tech stuff. I'm already here. Shut the hell up.
Okay.
Get out of here, Raging Brett. Drive safely.
Now, Mr. President, we have a couple of more topics to cover here, and then I will let you go. I know you're a very busy man. Your boy Vlad, he's now killing innocent women and children.
No better way to show your strength.
Even though there was signs on buildings that there were children present in different buildings, he still bombed these places and killed children. What are your thoughts on this?
Okay. Obviously, this is a sensitive subject and we want to be politically correct. But let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
People put signs on buildings all the time, and they're meant to trick you. I remember going to a school in Florida with Jeff Epstein. And he was going, he was throwing one of his parties. And I said, "Jeff, this says elementary school." And he said, "Sir, that's just a trick they play to get you to, go the other way. But trust me, this is where the very legal and very fresh meat is." And so he would, gather up. They looked young to me. But, he assured me they were trying to trick you. So they labeled the school, "Oh, it's the Beverly Cleary Elementary School for special needs girls." And I would say, "I don't know." And he'd say, "Nope, they're trying to trick you." And he would then lead out all these young women. Apparently they were just small, young looking women pretending. And he would bring them to his house and have, parties. So trust me, they can put all sorts of fake signs on buildings. You should know that. Okay. And I'm very disappointed that you don't know that. But, Sir Jeffrey Epstein was a lot smarter than you. So he knew. And now you know. And if you don't know, now you know, N-word.
So you don't think Vlad's doing anything wrong? You just think he's being a strong leader?
Oh, I think he could be doing a better job. I don't think he's perfect. But yes, I think he's a strong leader. He's a smart. I think he's smart. I think he's very smart. He's very tough, and we don't like what's happening. I don't want to sit here and say we like what's happening. Nobody likes what's happening, but we hope it. We would like it to peace. We would like peace, but sometimes to get peace, you need to destroy everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's his sort of philosophy. I think he's actually using sort of the peaceful protest of January 6th as motivation. He saw how strong peace could be using strong strength.
Well, speaking of that peaceful protest, great segue, Mr. President. Whose
segue?
No, it's like when you go from one topic to another.
Is that like a Vietnamese name? Hello, I am Segway.
A man name, I think it's spelled, how would you pronounce this? Couy. Coy?
Cunt. A T is silent.
No T. It's not even a T there. It's just Y. I think it's
Or what?
Coy. Coy Griffin. You know who Cowboys for Trump is?
Oh, I've seen Mike Pence wearing assless chaps, so I assume he's affiliated. Mike Pence is actually starting a gang called Trump Cowboys, and they have a motto. You know how some gangs have blood in, blood out?
Yes.
His is come in, come out.
You've never heard of Cowboys for Trump?
Oh, we have bikers for Trump.
Yeah, Cowboys for Trump. And this man is being brought up on charges for the January 6th peaceful protests, and he decided not to get
why?
a jury
Because
of his peers, just a judge
because how do you get peers when you're a cowboy for Trump? You have no peers. You're in an elite group. Nobody can. This is something that the radical left. This is three things they hate. They hate cowboys. They hate boys, and they hate Trump. They would probably like it if it was, vegan, non-gendered persons for Hillary. Then they'd have no problem with what this person's doing. Hello, I'm a vegan, non-binary for Bernie. Is it okay if I burn down the country? Well, right this way, sir. You're a perfect citizen. I'm a cowboy for Trump. Well, you're going to hell. We're going to burn you alive. It's a total disgrace what they're doing. Cowboys for Trump. I can't think of a stronger group and a better group. So I'm glad you brought that to my attention. We should have and speaking of which, we should have a Cowboys for Trump fundraiser at Mar-a-Lago with Roger Stone's wife. And, we'll have the hung like a horse Cowboys for Trump. And that'll be Roger Stone's wife right this way.
Well, when you do that fundraiser, I'd love to hear about it on the podcast, Mr. President.
Who?
They're a fundraiser for Cowboys for Trump.
Who are they?
Anyway, Mr. President, I appreciate you joining us once again, week in and week out, donating your time.
Well, as you should probably know, it's called Strong In, Strong Out.
Strong in, strong out. Mr. President, we appreciate you. Also, if you haven't jumped on yet, guys, jump on the patreon.com/MPGA. We just had one of the greatest bonus episodes we just put up, getting tons of messages from all the Patreon patriots saying how they loved the last episode. So join patreon.com/MPGA. We have a live episode coming up this month. The Oscar reviews are up. Tons of bonus material. Check it out. Start at $5. Yes.
Excuse me. The Rotten Oranges this week was unbelievable and epic. It was. I was joined by various strong MAGA personalities who you've heard on bonus episodes, and we went through the entire roster of radical left Oscar nominees. And if you don't listen to that, you're not a Patreon patriot. You're a Patreon piece of shit.
Well, you heard it here. Patreon.com/MPGA. Join up. If you haven't checked out my special yet, Something from Nothing, check it out. Apple, iTunes, on Amazon. It's on Vimeo, YouTube, cable on demand. So demand on almost all cable providers, I think, except Fios. So check it out. It's Something from Nothing. Please support. Join the Patreon, patreon.com/MPGA. Leave a rating, leave a review. Mr. President, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, everybody, for listening to the greatest podcast in the world. Hi, it's JL. Nothing much to announce. Check out Righteous PK Podcast. You can go to my website, get tickets to see me in Buffalo. My special taping in New York, and ticket links should be going up later this week or next week for Boston shows in July. Hopefully more shows will be getting added, and that's it. So have a great week. Consider the Patreon. The content is truly awesome, and happy spring, everybody. God help us all.